Dear America, do not fret. Do not fret. Calm down. We must recognize that there are more things benefiting us right now as we look to the 2024 election that nobody is going to tell you. You know me. You know me. I will always tell you the truth. I will never, ever say anything just to make you feel happy if I don't believe it. We are on the same side, but I am the adult in this room. I don't push a particular ideology. I'm not pushing anybody. I'm not pushing the Republicans. I'm not pushing the Democrats. I'm not pushing anybody. I'm pushing you know it, the Constitution. I am an American. I'm going to say that to you. I know it sounds corny, but corny's true. I'm an American. I don't care about these people. I don't care anything about Republican Party. No, I want President Trump to win, and he is going to win. Now remember, everything can be lost. The old philosophical question is, does one team win or does the other team lose? When the Yankees win the pennant, did they win or did the other team lose? I don't know. We can ask these questions. Do not ever feel like we have nothing to worry about. We don't have to vote. Oh, no, 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 no. Can it be lost? You betcha. Absolutely. Absolutely. You could be Usain Bolt. You could be the fastest man, but you can lose a race if you don't understand the basics, if you don't pay attention, if you look the other way, if you celebrate too early, but all of a sudden somebody runs right by you. So understand something, just so that you recognize something. This is the greatest thing. I mentioned this last night. There must be a God. Why do I say this? Because what happens is, and I want you to understand this, I use this expression not to be sacrilegious. I don't mean to do that, but it's a perfect analogy. It's almost like our friend Ozzy says, Trump will win. Trump to win, amen. It's as though God is saying, watch this. I'm going to have him poop out before the convention. I'm going to have him poop out right after the debate, forcing them to push her in. The worst thing would have been to go to a convention and to have people say, hey, this guy, let me tell you something, that Mark Kelly, he's scary. He's good. Ex-astronaut. An adult? An adult? Oh, man. See, that's what I would have done. That's what Obama wanted. See, if you want to get these people, I'd say, give me the most adult person there. That's the guy that I want. But no, God, again, please do not, I'm using this as an expression. The Almighty, somebody says, oh, no, wait. Kamala, why? She's never been on stage. She's never been vetted. She is a clown. She is an absolute clown. And you're going to see this more than ever. You're going to see this. And it would have never been seeable like it is now. You're going to, and you are going to be hearing, oh, no, you don't understand. It's a tight race. Forget this. Forget these polls. I told you. Wait. Swing states, look at the rolling average. She got a bounce at first just because of this kind of a weird sugar high. But then it kind of slows down. It's like the young bride who says, well, I'm done with my wedding. Yep. That's it. This was your big day. It's over. Now you're married to that guy. That's right. That guy. This is your future. Put the Corningware away and all this stuff. Look at the pictures. Put them aside. That's the guy you married. You're married now. It's over. It's done. So I hope you pick the right one, because that's it. And if you think walking away from that's easy, you don't know how this system works. Ryan says, I understand the effectiveness of astroturfing, the popularity of books, movies, and streaming shows, getting people to consume products, but I'm unconvinced this works in politics. It's unsustainable, in my opinion. I wish I could tell you there was, Ryan, I thank you. I wish I could tell you that there is a logic behind this. There is, but certain things are focused. Let me give you an example. By the way, we got a lot of great stuff, so sit tight. Believe me when I tell you this, sit tight. I want you to know a couple of things. When you're trying to build a product, let's say you're, how do I say this? There's something on TV. Let's say there's a car. Let's say there's anything, some product that we're pushing. It's not this or this. See, for example, if you say, hey, I like that car. I like the new, whatever it is, the new BMW. Oh, that's a nice car. You know, you don't have to buy the BMW or the Ford. It's not one or the other. It's, if I get to it, I'll go there. Hey, I like that one. I like this. Politics is this. You've got to sell every product on one day, and that's it. And it's either this product or that product. And what's interesting is unless your product wins, the one you like is going to be around for 4 years. There is no corollary to this. Mr. Rung says Philly is pushing Shapiro and all the Philly unions. Good. Do not be surprised. Do not be surprised if they actually try to do something. What Kamala Harris is doing, Brad, is she's worried about the Jewish vote. Let me tell you how interesting this gets. You're going to love this. I have a friend of mine who is 100% pro-Israel. Okay? 100%. There's no getting around. And there's a lot of people who feel this. This is an existential threat. Now, when I talk to people and I say, I want you to do me a favor, they don't like Kamala or they don't like Trump, but they have an affinity, or it could be the opposite. There are people who say that Israel, to them, it is the existential threat. Here is the story. Irrespective of what you feel about Israel, you must proceed with the fact that Kamala Harris will be abandoning her position, abandoning the support that this country has always had with a long-term ally. Now, wait a minute. You're going to say, hold it. Isn't that good? Stop. This is where it gets real tough. Even Raul Rodriguez knows. As president, what issue will Trump approach first? Survival. Thank you, sir. Let me go through this. I want her to be eliminated. I want him. She's going to be it. I want this to be a drubbing. I'm looking at 330, 340 electorals. I mean, I want it to be an absolute, because he's got to win big. He just can't squeak by. I know people want to just win. If he wins, they'll take it. But this is the point I'm saying. Remember, how do you phrase this? A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for disorder. Look how she stood up and supported those people coming to our country, but they live here. Either way, Washington destroying our statues, our nation's capital. Is this what you want? Is this what you want? Is this what from the river to the sea means? Now let me stop. I personally say, oh, I understand exactly what that means. What is happening to the people of you don't want me nuancing this thing, because I could tell America, Oh, no, no, no. Let me explain to you what this is. First of all, I don't know who these people are destroying things, but what they are doing to the people in Israel, oh, excuse me, what am I saying? Well, I guess you could say that in Palestine, you can argue jurisdictional, is horrid. It's a very complicated issue. However, I want to win. And I'm going to use this issue and I'm going to use it however it benefits President Trump. Do you hear what I'm saying? It's the strangest thing. Why wasn't Melania at Mar-a-Lago meeting Bibi and his wife? Why was his wife sitting in on certain things? That's another story. That's another one, because I don't want to get waylaid or held down by Israel. But I have a friend of mine who is so anti-Trump but so pro-Israel, and I'm saying, and he doesn't even realize that Bibi's in the fight of his life. They're going to indict him in Israel. They have no idea. This is the most complicated issue. I mean, you could just peel the layers away and say, what? So, understand, this is important. Kamala doesn't know what to say. They gave her this now. Right now, as we speak, ladies and gentlemen, listen to what I'm saying. As we speak, this moment, there is, as we speak, 101 days until the election. 101 days until the election. Let me also tell you something, that we don't have anybody in charge. This should scare you. Joe Biden, listen to what I'm saying to you. You may think this is funny. Joe Biden one day is going to just go away or die, or you're just not going to hear anything from him. It's done. And she is the acting president. They are going next to have him step down. She will be elevated by virtue of the 25th Amendment. She is going to be the president. If you want to have somebody, if you want to run against somebody, the worst person is like a Mark Kelly. And by the way, the reason for Josh Shapiro is because of the Jewish aspect. Did you see when she got her husband, that Doug, who read that hostage video, that terrible blurred back? It was horrible. These are amateurs. Right now, Barack Obama is saying, this is it. I told you to hold off. I didn't want her. Well, as we said last night, I hope you saw the video last night. I hope you saw it. Hope you saw my video last night. All of a sudden, Joe Biden says, I'm going to fix you. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to endorse her right now. How do you like them apples? Huh? How do you like that? You happy about that? That's what I did. That's what I did. And it was his last F you to everybody there. Absolutely. It was the most important. Absolutely the most important thing he ever did. He is so mad. He is furious. Here it is right there. Make sure you watch this. Now, let me go through a few things here. Let's look at these things tactically and let's see how these things matter. It's important for the president to understand something. Do not necessarily, sir, please, as he loves for you to say, sir, do not necessarily wait until somebody brings you. I don't like Charlie Kirk. I don't like these people. I don't like them because they're weird. Probiotic, whoever these people are, Shapiro. I don't want them. I want him to stand by himself. These people are weird because what they're trying to do is they're trying to figure they're jockeying for position. Who is going to be in charge of the new right? There's always been these people in the Republican Party. Remember, it was Jerry Falwell at one point. Is it the moral majority? Is it this? Is it that? These are like kids. These are children. I don't know what they're talking about, but that's not going to win in the long run. If you listen to me, I've got to tone down this. I want the Republican Party, if it's going to survive, not to scare people. And what you've got is the Charlie Kirk who says, I don't give a damn about the Republican Party. I'm talking about Charlie Kirk. I want Turning Point. I want my numbers to go up. I'm going to say whatever I have to do. And if I got to quote the Bible or scare the hell out of non-believers, I don't care. I don't care what this is about. It's just like, it's like Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro said, I know my marching orders. I know who controls me. I don't give a damn whether it helps Trump or anybody else. I'm in it for me. Period. Candace Owens, be not mistaken. These are not your friends. Keep these people away. Candace Owens going on TV. Yes, I think you're committing a sin. Why? Because she's Candace Owens, and I'm gonna go. I mean, this is, keep these nuts away. What you say in your own business is fine. Look, we saw this. This is why we have superdelegates. This is why superdelegates were in the Democratic Party, because they thought that McGovern was a nut. This is the weirdest thing in the world. There are children who have confused Candace Owens and I'm sorry, Tucker Carlson. I hope you don't take this the wrong way. Please. Tucker Carlson is a child. He's a little boy who is saying, I'm in charge and I'm going to say whatever I want. I'm a Christian. I'm a this. Fine. He's insincere. He's doing this for himself. I don't care. Good for you. Good for the purpose of for the future of platforming. But get out of here. I want this to be Trump and Trump only. Don't associate Trump with Tucker Carlson or anybody else for that matter. And least of all is this Charlie Kirk or CPAC or Franklin Graham. Look, you don't need to be associated with somebody. That's why I would also say the Pope, anybody, you want to be your own man or your own woman. That's it. And he needs to do this. He always has to go to a crowd. He doesn't know where he is. Okay. Now listen to this. All right. Let's see what you think. You watch this. Imagine, just remember this. You're somebody who might be undecided, might be an independent voter, might be somebody who might just be susceptible to being poached. Listen to this.
A lot about it. We defeated him. He was badly beaten. And, everybody was going to him, said, you can't beat him. You're not going to beat this guy. You can't beat him. Get out. Get out.
Now, this is actually good, by the way. This is actually good.
We want you out. There was nothing nice about what they were doing. And they were saying, we want you out of the race. You're going to lose. We want to put somebody else in. How about that? It's like a prize fighter. He's losing badly, ready to be knocked out. And they say, well, wait, let's stop the fight. Let's put somebody else in. It doesn't work that way. And
by the way, see this turning point? See this turning point? What is he doing? An advertising for Kirk? Is that what this is? Don't do this. Because they're going to take everything that Charlie Kirk's ever said and said, oh, is this it? You stand up there with Trump 2024 behind you. If you're going to speak, Mr. President, you have your signage, your message. You can do this anytime you want. Don't advertise for other people. My God. But what he's saying is correct.
It's not supposed to work that way. And this really was a coup by the Democrats. This was a coup, nothing else. He got 14 million votes. I hate to stick up for Biden, but, he didn't want to do what he did. He said, I'll never go out. I'll never, ever go out. 2 days later, I'm proud to go out.
Now, let me ask you something. Is this doing anything? Does this, now granted, this is not his only message. Is this doing anything for you? What does this do? What is the point of this? What? How are you winning me over? I don't understand. Are you gloating? What are you going to do for me? Now, I'm sorry. Again, people say, oh, I think it's great. Well, frankly, I don't care what people think. I want to win this thing. And you have to have this stricture, this absolute determination, and this focused, kind of a maturity, a determination, a discipline. You must remain on the topic.
Because the fascists went after him. They threatened him with the 25th Amendment. They said, we can do it the nice way or we can do it the hard way, Joe. That's what happened. I know I know as many people on that side as I know on our side. So
What does that mean? What is our side? The fascists, the bad people, the Democrats? What does this even mean? I don't know. I think, see, this is sloppy talk. I don't like this.
to speak. But that's what happened. They said, we can do it the hard way. We can do it the easy way. 25th Amendment if you don't go. And he said, oh, I'll go. And now they're trying to make him into a brick.
Okay. Again, wasted. I don't know what that is. What are you talking about? Who cares? What was the point of that? Am I going to vote for Trump because of that? No. Every time you have a second, you've got to think that every sentence that you say is going to be a meme, is going to be a quote. What is the point of this? You know, when you kind of lean over and say, I'm just going to start talking to you. I'm going to say, no. That may be greater after you win, not now. Now, this is one, and I'm sorry, but you're going to have to hear the good news or the bad news. This kind of talk is just weird.
And again, Christians, get out and vote.
Christians. Now, not people of faith. Christians. What about Jews? What about, Christians, like they're a fungible group of people.
Just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian.
Wait, what? Wait, what? You're not going to have to vote. What does that mean? Wait a minute, do you know what that means? No, you don't know what that means. Nobody knows what that means. Because you just gave, because now the other side is saying, wait a minute, are you saying you're going to be what? President forever? Is that what? Is that what you're doing? Are you saying, well, what do you, wait a minute, hold on, what? What does that mean? This is the undisciplined, I don't know what this means. And did he say he's not a Christian? I don't, listen to this. Just tell me what this says.
Be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian.
I'm not Christian. Is that what he said? Or I'm a Christian? I don't know what this means.
I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote.
Yeah.
In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.
What does that mean? Of course you have to vote. I don't understand what this means. See, this is why we say, no. I'm in charge of this. No. Sorry, Mr. President. Sorry about that. Take this turning point thing down. Trump 2024, Trump Vance. What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't do this. Who's in charge of this? All right, that's it. That's to prove to you that I am absolutely serious when I say to you that I'm not going to sit there and say everything is terrific. But this is the moment. Every single time he speaks, you need to put it to music. You need, with all due respect, God bless the USA is terrific, but this is what they don't want you to see. This sign, this is it. That is the thing that is the most important. That was Mount Suribachi. That was Mount Suribachi. And if you're going to speak about that, you remind them how Ray from the FBI and others, and that lunatic Joy Reid and others are saying that it might have been shards from a prompter. Let them know what they're doing. Might have missed a couple here, dear friends here. Let me see here. YouTube Sook says Tucker is a rich kid with ties to every whatever in Washington. Look, he's okay, but he's like Bradley and Humphrey, and he's wearing the pink shorts and the shoes without the socks, and he's okay. No, he's a good guy. He's very good, but he is just so filled with himself right now. He is just like, I just beat Rogan. I told Fox News where to go. I'm at the convention. When he does that Mozart laugh, I swear to you, it's like hearing. I expect to see like a knife blade go through. God bless him, okay? But understand, he's in it for one reason and one reason only. Him, not Trump. He hated Trump before. He said it repeatedly. And now all of a sudden he's Trump's buddy. Is that it? Do you believe this? Mr. President, these are phonies. These are people who are now all of a sudden elevated to new status in the world of podcasting and streaming, and they don't know what to do. The guy who has been the most honest, who I like of them all the best, is Dana White. Dana White said, I owe Trump, that's it. Joe Rogan's got getting anywhere near this. You notice that? No way. He ain't go. I mean, he is. I mean, you know he's not voting for whatever. But so just remember something. And when you have somebody that you think, ooh, I've got all of Tucker's friends or Trucker, you already had them. What do you need him for? What? So he can give you his listener. You have his listeners. If they're listeners to him, there's your fan. I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to move on. Be careful with whom you associate yourself with. And I know right away, I have been in the business, and I've seen people full, oh, you know what, since the beginning of time, when everybody wanted to be Rush Limbaugh. Oh, my God, I'm telling you, I saw it. They're great people, terrific, wonderful. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. Our good friend here says, Barry says, I have a sneaky suspicion that once they get the immigrants' vote, they'll drop their free money in hotel rooms like a bad habit. Oh, they won't care about them at all. Remember, it is specifically what we are seeing. We are seeing, dear friend, the goal of what happens. They want, the reason for this is a permanent Democratic Party. They want to repeal the filibuster. They've already said this. Pack the Supreme Court. They're already talking about this. Pack the Supreme Court. And they also want to have the D.C. as a 51st state. Our Aussie friend says, Trump is authentic, sincere, and fair dinkum. 400 overall electorals, clean house. Without the swamp, we can move forward. That is true, but he's got to win. And he needs discipline. He needs discipline. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Don't get too carried away with this stuff. Okay? And play this Israel thing very carefully, with all due respect. Play it carefully. I'm not saying. When you saw him like this with Bibi, you know who were furious? You know how many people in Israel protest against Bibi? You have any idea? This is like getting into a family fight and taking sides, and you don't even know the history and where this is going. That's all I'm going to say. Now, the issue has to be, and the focus is that Kamala Harris doesn't know what she's talking about. This is the thing for people to know. Now, also, know her tells. Okay? You want to hear body language? I hate these body language people. Body language. Would you stop that? Body language. What do you get this clown for? Well, we got to have the body language. Body language. Sometimes it's obvious. Sometimes it's not. But you can tell when somebody's lying. Not because of body language, but you've been around for a long time. Since you were a kid, you've seen people lying. Kamala Harris doesn't have the ability to she doesn't believe anything. Watch this one.
Person in the room, particularly.
This is the best. Listen to this one. Her whole thing is she was the last. I guess this was during COVID. They're spread apart. This stupid. This is so unnecessary in retrospect. When you see this, Putin had the best table there was. He had like a mile long. Remember that one? But when but remember this horror. Any event, listen to this. They're saying that Dana Bash is saying you were the last one in the room. That you were responsible for one of the worst moments in American history. The abandonment of, and what they're doing to the girls in Afghanistan is horrific. It's, you have no idea. Mrs. L talks about that. But listen to this. Now watch Kamala's face. See if you believe it.
Biden always said that he wants you to be the last person in the room, particularly for big decisions, just as he was for President Obama. He just made a really big decision. Afghanistan. Yes. Were you the last person in the room? Yes.
Lie.
And you feel comfortable? I do.
See that? Did you see that? Did you? She has no earthly idea what she saw. Watch this again.
Big decisions, just as he was for President Obama. He just made a really big decision. Afghanistan. Yes. Were you the last person in the room? Yes. And you feel comfortable? I do.
Absolute balderdash. Phony. Bring her out. Challenge her. Mr. President, every time you are up, forget about Charlie Kirk, forget about these stories and anecdotes. You have a list of everything she has said. And the latest, how she's going to be owned, I tell you, by the teachers union. We'll get to this in a moment. Let me also tell you something. CNN is really interesting. CNN is showing a lot of people say things that are not necessarily complimentary of Kamala Harris. Isn't that interesting? Let me give you this one. Watch this.
That because I'm a Latina woman, that, I'm going to be excited about her. And it's not that easy for me because I worry about character. We had somebody that was the right hand of somebody that was not healthy who was silent about it. And that concerns me.
Do not underestimate that, as I think George W. Bush said. Remind people. Now, the president spoke before, and he wasted this time talking about how they double-teamed Biden. Okay. Or double-crossed. Or double-teamed and double-crossed. Great. Do you think that is an important point? Vote for me because they double-teamed and double-crossed and pushed out Joe Biden. What is that about? Trump just talks. He just kind of feels he wings it, like he did for that convention speech, which was too long. It was too long. Look, if you don't want to hear this, go to, I don't know where you want to go. He can do this. Got plenty of time. Somebody's going to need to sit there and talk to him and say, I'm telling you what to do. And if you don't do this, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Because he figures I can do it. He's got all these yes men. Dan Scavino hanging around him. That Margot Martin. They don't say Martin anymore. They say Martin. They got her. Remember the Hope Hicks? Alina Habba. I don't know what she is. And once he's done with them, see ya. Alina, no more court cases. Have a nice day, Alina. No, I don't need you anymore. I'm going to go after this. With all due respect. I love the man, but understand how he works. Understand this. Every single time he's got to be asking himself, what am I saying? What am I doing? This is something which really bothers people. If she double crosses her own party, do you think she's going to tell you the truth? Look at her. She's an empty suit. She came along and then through happenstance, because they double crossed Joe, all of a sudden she is. And make sure you always tell people what you know she's going to do. You tell people that, and she's going to, they're going to slide her in. You watch this. They're going to slide her in and she's going to be the next president. This child, be brutal. Be brutal. Always tell people. And they're going to call me racist. And they're going to call me a sexist. And they're going to say I'm anti-Indian or whatever it is. Hell, did you see where her great-grandfather, according to the Irish Times, he was a slave owner? Come on. What are you talking about? She's going to grab every label there is. She's an African-American. And her parents, they protest. Remember the story? She says, and I was in my stroller and I wanted freedom. That never happened. Her whole life is a lie. Even Doug couldn't even come up with the words. It's the weirdest thing. Mr. President, God has given you this clown. Let the world know what she's done. She's been inconsistent. 1 minute she's the champion of black people, and then she's not. 1 minute she's tossing young men in the clink for purposes of whatever it is, and then she's not. For the love of God, Mister, would you please, would somebody please do us a favor and stick with the facts? They're lying to you, America. Tell them. And get ready. They're going to call me. What are they going to call me? Oh, they're going to remember whatever they do. So this is a limited hangout, kind of in reverse. And they're also going to tell you there wasn't any shooting. It was all that I did this. And you see this man right here? This man is now dead. This man is dead. They say, well, this didn't happen. They jump all over Alex Jones when they claim certain things. Well, you denied a death, but this is a different story. What's going on here? They don't even know what their story is. They don't have a line. And you know who's really upset with this? Barack Obama. Barack Obama. He's furious. He is so furious because they even told him, no, we're not listening to you. We're not listening to you. They turned their back on him. Don't believe anything. They're in complete and total disarray. But you would never know that. Now watch this, America. Here comes Hollywood. Oh, my God. Rob Reiner. Hey, say no more. Bette Midler. Every retread, every Hollywood has been. They're going to just come and they're going to what? Drag De Niro out for another one of these profane, garbled gibber. Come on. They think you're stupid. They really don't understand what's going on. And this is the part that's the most important. What they're going to do to your children. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know who the most dangerous person in the world is? Randy Weingarten. Randy Weingarten makes about $400,000 to $500K a year. She was in New York, and now she's with the teachers. These are the ones who conned the Biden basically to tell teachers, you don't even have to go to school during COVID. Oh, we can't let teachers go. So they just abandon your kids. Many of them retired early. They took a couple years off. Schools have never recovered. Never. There are some kids we still don't know where they are. There are kids who during this lockdown, when they were remote learned, they just didn't show up. Nobody went looking for them. Hey, we can't. Why? There's COVID. It was the greatest thing in the world. Randy Weingarten told her rank and file, don't worry, I got this one. We ain't ever going back. Take off the rest of the year or two. We're going to milk this baby for all it's worth. You're going to be a teacher in name only, a Tino. We're going to get rid of brick and mortar schools eventually, which all going to be remote learn. All. We're going to move everything out. We don't give a diddly damn about kids. We don't care about competing with China, Eastern Europe, Russia, Europe. Let me tell you something about China. Let me tell you something about it. One of the reasons why they say, why do the Apple folks decide to have factories in China? Well, one thing they can do is they can say, do you have a place? Do you have a factory that has about 250,000 employees? Yes. 250,000? Yeah. That's like a city. Yep. Do you have a place where, let's say, 10 to 20% of middle management is master's or PhD? Yeah. We don't have that here. Absolutely not. They can do. We have morons running around. Morons. If you want to see something, you can't. My favorite is at the end of the year, whenever they graduate, you see all of these kids running around with their mortar boards and their capes and their diplomas, speaking a language that perhaps is understood on a planet we've yet to visit. Morons, mouth-breathing, knuckle-dragging, homozygotic, inbred, cretinous Boeotians running around having graduated. Charlie Calais says, I've grown to hate her when she wouldn't turn over braiding material in a capital case. Well, that's one thing. This is Kamala Harris, who, in addition to her horrible run as a prosecutor, she has no soul. Joe Biden, say what you want, believed in something in the old days. Now listen to this feller.
Andy Weingarten, every time she speaks, I feel like it is an in-kind donation to the school choice movement across the country, and in some cases to the Republican Party. But I think that what we should understand about this context is she's trying to take something and turn it on its head.
Yep.
She understands that the ramifications of public education in America and the failing public school experience for so many Americans, but particularly for children who are in urban environments, has hit hardest among minority communities, across the land. Those same communities and their parents are now demanding the freedom to be able to get their children out of this, debacle that they have been trapped in these government schools. And her reaction to that is to turn things around and try to flip the script, to basically accuse the other side of doing what they are doing. They're the ones trapping people in this segregationist sort of experience of not being able to send their children to the schools that they, could deserve to have an opportunity to go to. The quality of education is much better. And, frankly, the idea that we should fund students instead of systems is, I think, fundamental right now to achieving the kind of educational advancement that we need to achieve in the wake of the horrible decisions that were made during COVID.
Absolutely. COVID was beautiful. COVID oh man, it changed everything. In my humble opinion, we should have something called education militias. What does that mean? Glad you asked. An education militia is where you and a group of people say, here's what we are going to do. We're going to homeschool. We are going to find a graduate student, perhaps, maybe somebody from a college for Columbia School of Teachers or wherever these people are. And we will have a group of, how many kids in a class, Max, honey? We said this, what about 10, 5? How many? Our ideal. Homeschooling. 8 to 10 tops. So here's the deal. Bring a woman in, man, woman, whatever, vetted like you cannot believe. Criminal background checks, the whole bit. And for 10 people, what do you want to do? What would you pay? What would you pay? What would you pay? A lot of people would say to have your kid. 10 grand a year? May sound like a lot to you. For your kids? Oh, easy. Have these people say, we will pay you handsomely. I know this may sound like, wow, that's a lot of money. It's worth every penny of it. And then you tell them, here's what we're going to do. We want to have a religious program or not. We want to do 3 days a week, or maybe you can change it. 3 days a week, maybe maximum. You don't need to go to school every day. That's another thing too. You don't need to go to school every day. You need, and it's not meant as a child care, but you make sure that they are competitive. And when your parents have people, I was very lucky when I was a kid because I always went to parochial school. And my parents had this thing where they said they weren't rich by any stretch of the imagination. And they said, and I was always a good student. I just was. It was the damnedest thing. But if I decided not to, I'm sure they would have said, wait a minute, we're paying for this and you're not doing it? No. We have to change. We have to take the American educational system and scrap it. Okay? Enough with this. And I know so many good teachers. I'm a good teacher. I know you are. But you're in a system that doesn't care. So you know what? You're a dinosaur. You're a dinosaur. There's no need for you. What are you going to do? You're a great student, a teacher, and nobody cares about. Sparky says, nowadays, MIT graduates, electrical engineers who practically can't even change the batteries in an ordinary flashlight. And how about this, Sparky? How many people who have to receive remedial reading? And they want to destroy everything. And it is DEI. DEI. And don't forget what DEI backwards is IED. Because it's an improvised explosive device meant to destroy the fundamental system of our country. In our country, we have to figure out who the good ones are just as much as we care. We have all of these schools that call. An Ivy League, done, finished, through, stick a fork in it. That was the old days when Harvard meant something, when these places meant something. George Lynn says, I would start with math, reading, history, and civics. I would start, thank you very much, with things like reading, comprehension. We would have the best forms and earliest kids learning things. You know what I believe in? Shapes and rolling and playing and figuring things out and climbing trees and not having a damn helmet all the time you do something. Live a little dangerously, a little bit, ride bikes. Do you know how many kids in this? I remember one time they said that in some African-American towns or whatever, there are black kids who never learned how to swim. They had no pools. They never got near the water. Never. And the drownings were ridiculous. That's absurd. Swimming is critical. Anytime you get any kind of motion, anytime you get this hardwired movement into stuff, that's why this makes kids say, wow, you're touching tactile. I've got a friend of mine, she teaches 4th grade. And you give a kid, do you ever see this? Look at the way people write. They can't even write. Now, I admit it, my handwriting has gone to hell, but I can write. And there's something about cursive, believe it or not. There was a time when everybody wrote cursive. It makes you smarter. This is not some fossilized vestige. And it starts now. And the Randy Weingardens are parasites. A parasite goes to the host. The parasite figures that give me a good blood source. Give me a good blood source. Give me a good place where I can feed inside ears of cattle and something. Good blood source. Mosquitoes. I need a host. I have to. There's also parasites and there are viruses. A virus is different. A parasite just sucks the blood off of you. A virus goes in and changes the DNA. YouTube Sook says the Ivy League is just for rich people to make connections. Hunter has a Yale law degree. How did that get? By the way, it's not just that. They're going to be hoist by their own petard. They're going to have these lunatics come in. They want to get rid of SAT scores. DEI is coming to the Ivy League. It doesn't matter anymore. I learned this when I saw this. There was a time when the idea of oh my God, a Harvard law degree. Oh my God. Felix Frankfurter and Brandeis. Oh my God. Not anymore. You're going to start seeing things like University of Chicago. That's the place. You're going to start seeing Hillsdale, and you're going to start hearing things about Christian colleges and state schools. George Len says Finland has our old education system. They excel. Well, it's the people. And by the way, George, the reason why this is a problem is that the Randy Weingardens came in and they learned they're like, let me explain something to you. Organized crime. Organized crime, the mob, are people who believe in just making money any way they can. They will infiltrate. They will infiltrate. What am I trying to say? What am I even trying to say? They'll infiltrate Unions, they'll infiltrate. They'll do a variety of stuff. They will go out of their way to infiltrate an organization. If there's public bidding, they want to go in there. Any place where they have, this is good. Raul says DEI didn't earn it. Absolutely, that's their term. Remember, equity. But organized crime goes in and they take a situation and they say, that's it. Anywhere they can make money, anything, whatever they can do to make money, and that's what the Randy Weingardens are. These are mobsters. These are gangsters. They have an organized crime mentality, the likes of which you can't believe, and they will do everything in their power. She will do everything in her power to maintain her position with her perks and everything else, because she understands and she recognizes the very fact that she, by virtue of this, is making a ton of cash, and she has to deliver by giving her rank and file all of the perks without doing anything. Randy Weingard is more of a political officer. Oh, I believe so. But she's representative of others. Listen to the other folks. Listen to this. This is a part which, I'm sorry, I will say this. Even Jordan Peterson is starting his academy. Oh, dear God. Dear God. You know what? It's a free country. Remember years ago they had the Montessori. I don't know what they do, but they're still around. Somebody who says maybe they need to. Look, this is not brain surgery. This is not brain surgery. And when it comes to school, we got to figure out who's good and who's not. See, we don't put any money in terms of who's smart. We don't. We don't. And I learned this right off the bat. All my life, I've heard people say, what does that word mean? Well, why don't you look it up? No. That's it. That's America. No. I don't look words up. I just sit back. Oh, okay. Listen to. You can always tell by virtue of how we accept stupidity, maundering, foolish, idiotic, subliterate speech. I hear it all the time. All the time. No matter where I go, I hear subliterate. I hear it constantly. And we live in this anti-intellectual world that just doesn't care about it. I see people on television who somebody says, hey, they have their own DEI there. Don't kid yourself. Don't kid yourself. Oh, yeah. They figure like, we have to balance this out. I don't give a damn who's who. I don't care who, most people don't. We don't care about that. Oh, no. In fact, they always say these things. Well, how come? This bothers me. They'll say, how come this network doesn't have people of color on it? This may sound like a stupid question. Well, what does that mean? Well, they should have people of color. Why? What do you mean, why? Why should a network have more women? Do you ever see white men on there? No, very rarely. Do you ever see white men two men on an evening newscast? No. What difference does it make? If somebody is great, terrific. In my book, excellent comes first, followed by the diversity. But you don't go for diversity first. You go for excellence first. I don't give a damn who's who. If you went to the best medical hospital in Ghana and said, how come there's no diversity here? Say, what? Because what? This is diverse. No, it's not. I'm going to go to a hospital where we have 10% white, 25% gay. Nobody thinks like this. And when I asked somebody the other day, I said, well, how come Fox News doesn't have more diversity? Why? Who cares? Equality is what you want, not equity. Equity is this forced, it's this end result. I want there to be more people who have physical disabilities winning Olympic road race, the 100-yard dash. What? The 1,500 meters or whatever these things are called. Marathons. How come there are no people who have physical? Wait a minute. Physical. Why aren't the handicapped winning the marathons? Do you know what you're saying? Why is it that only people who are capable? You would laugh at that. I come from the old school. Who cares about race? Great. I don't care. Are you good? You're on. Come on in. You're good. You're good. Bobby Bronco says, after 20 years as a professor, I can tell you we are no longer producing well-informed citizens, but change agents. Indeed. And also, Bobby, there are people like you who are trying their best to understand this. There are people who are trying to be. I would love to be a teacher. Sometimes I think I am a little bit, but I don't want to put up with this stuff because I'm going to say something that insults people. I know I'm going to say something that technically isn't. Oh, did you say that? Yeah, okay, that's all right. Well, that's not good. And I'm kind of tired. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for this. We have created a system where we have these morons who've come along, and we are producing more morons than you can imagine. And it's the most incredible thing. Look at the opening. Did you see the opening ceremonies of the Olympics in Paris? You will never meet anybody who ever feels and has felt that there should be complete and total freedom when it comes to gay folks, people because of sexuality. Absolutely, positively, 100%. But this is perversion. This is weird. There are straight perverts, gay perverts. Perversion is also paraphilia, where the beginning and the end of what I do is by virtue of my sexual preference. When your sexual preference, when your sexual identity leads is number one in the hit parade. When you come out and you have an opening day ceremony, what do? You come out as gay people dressed as drags or whatever. That's demented. In front of kids, that's demented. Your whole focus is your sexuality. Your whole focus is you're a drag queen. What does that mean? I don't even understand it. You're a drag queen. Knock yourself out. And that's why when I hear people talk about these male types, I'm not going to go into it, but I've seen this my whole life. There are people who never have a heart. And by the way, remember, the vast majority of all predators are, quote, heterosexual. The vast majority. YouTube says, what you do in your bedroom is not a political issue. But they're not doing it in their bedroom. They're trying to take their, quote, bedroom. And I don't care if somebody wants to be, listen, if you want to dress as a woman, I don't care. I've had aunts in my family that could very easily have been a man, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of them were. What difference does it make? I don't care. And I mean that. If you want to dress like a man or like a woman, it is of no concern. If you want to scantily dress, if you want your pudenda to be exposed, like this sensory, like this complete skeeve with Kanye, whatever this thing is. Oh, no. Kids don't understand that. They want to destroy kids. And they want to shock people. That's their whole thing. It's not about them. It's to shock. Well, here's what. I'm going to shock you right back by telling you, you can't do this. There is absolutely, positively nothing that would prevent a state or a city having a dress code. This goes back to day one. Not that you would be prevented from cross-dressing, but we're not going to have this nonsense scantily clad, half dressed, half nude people. And what is the purpose of people mocking the Last Supper and all that? It's over with. They've run their course. Nobody's buying this. And what they want to do is they want you to believe that everybody is for this, that this is some kind of progress, that we as a society benefit from these people expressing themselves like this. It's absolute balderdash. Do you hear what I'm saying? It is complete and total balderdash. So let's recap this. President Trump, stay on message. Every time you get up, you attack her. Force her to respond to you. Don't get up there and put your arm and start talking, waxing about something about, I don't know what it is. This is a different time. Another thing, sir, with all due respect, we've gotten accustomed to that. At first, it was kind of neat. Like, I never heard anybody speak like this. He says, I play golf. I can't do a Trump. I play golf. Golf is good. And my son, see my son Barron? Yeah, my son Barron. 6'7". He's big. Well, where was he at the convention? I don't know. Yeah, about that, Barron. We're gonna put everybody back. Make America great again. What is this? What is that? What is this? That's what? That thing you do. Where you just kind of sit back and say, shooting this, just no. Messages. You want to go on prompter? Go on. His prompter reading is so much better. Remember before he did this kind of sniffling thing? Stop wasting my time. And if you go anywhere, do not have turning point behind it, because somebody's going to say, wait a minute, is that what he is? Because a lot of people, I hate to tell you, Mr. President, you're asking people who don't think Charlie Kirk is that great. I don't know why you think that. I have no idea. You may think he's terrific. I may think, look, all I'm saying is, I don't know about that. It may not even be good to be Joe Rogan, may not be everybody's cup of tea. I don't know why you're doing this, because you think that the people who are going to clap for you are other people as well. You've already got those people. Stay away from these people. They're okay. Let them do whatever they want to do. You want to speak to the person that says, listen, I'm going to respect you. Forget Charlie Kirk. Forget Candace Owens. Forget Tucker Carlson and all that. That's different. I'm talking to you. Vote for me because I'm going to be your president. This woman, if you let her in, she is not qualified. I'll tell you why. Because listen to what she says. And I'll tell you what she's done. She thinks that she can come out and laugh. And you know it. It's a nervous laugh. It means I don't know what I'm talking about. Talk to the people. Be very disciplined with this stuff. Understand. They say he's going back to Butler. Okay. That's important. That's important. I guess. I don't know if anybody. It's important. Everything you do has to be specifically well thought of. Now, let's look at this. What do we need to do? What do I tell you? Every day we start off. Remember this. We go to Real Clear Politics. I like them. They're pretty good. Real Clear Politics. And we look up at the top right and we see, this is interesting. And there's a bit of you'll see a little bit of because Kamala's got to be, let's face it, Biden was spent. There's still a little bit of that sugar high from Kamala. And the RCP poll averages, he's up 1.7. Five-way RCP, up by almost 2 points. Favorability, 1.1. I want to get those numbers up. And then Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Arizona, Georgia, he's up. Wisconsin's the meagerest of them all. Keep doing this. Keep doing this. Do you hear what I'm saying? Listen to what's going. Listen to what MSNBC is reporting. 100 days to make history. Why Kamala Harris can do it. Okay, those are proxies. Pay attention to what they're saying. Don't really laugh them. Harris risks repeating the Biden mistake. This is from the American Conservative. USA Today. Kamala doesn't scare Republicans, but Mark Kelly should. Mark Kelly would have really been a different story. Really. Newt Gingrich says Harris is a strong candidate. Don't underestimate him. Okay, you're right about that. See, this is it comes down to a very, very simple thing. Now, what's also critical, the first debate, challenger, tell her, she's running from me. Joe and Trump were supposed to have a debate in September. Is that still on? We don't know. We have no idea. Not sure why. We have no idea. Now, good news too. Israel's over here. Keep in mind the fight between Silicon Valley and Hollywood. They hate each other. That's a subtext. That's over here. Next, Obama and the Republican Party, a Democratic Party. Who's running what? He's furious. They went right to her because Biden double-crossed him. Next, you're not going to see Biden again. And if you do, he's going to be taller, shorter. We don't know who's who. I don't know what the hell he's doing. I have no idea. This height thing is a big deal. There were some thoughts that one of the reasons why President Trump was so interested in getting his shoes back, get my shoes, was because he said he has lifts in them. I don't know if this is true or not, but that's what they're saying. That's a big deal to these folks. A big deal. Because, and that's all. And Trump talks about this all the time. My son Barron, 6'7". Okay, fine. Okay. John Kenneth Galbraith, 6'8". What difference does that make? Did that make him better? I don't know. But anyway, doesn't matter. So that's that. You're never going to see Joe again. And Trump's got to tell people, you're never going to see him again. There's no Marine One. There's no valedictory. There's no valediction. See you later. Have a nice day. Gone. Like it never happened. Call them out. Call them out and say, ask Kamala this. She's not going to tell you this. Why? Because with all due respect, she's a lightweight. She wasn't made for this. They picked her for reasons they don't understand. And now that Biden is gone, they're realizing, oh my God, and they're going to tell you how great she is. They're also going to keep her speaking to you as little as possible. For the love of God, sir, tell people constantly what she's done and what she's doing now. You control the narrative. Make sure she has to stop every 5 minutes to clarify your saying something. Don't think that going on and talking with Jesse Waters or your buddy Sean Hannity, that means anything. It doesn't mean anything. Those are already your voters. How many times do I have to tell you this? It doesn't matter. We can't tell one Sean Hannity commercial or interview from another. They've all blended together. You've also got to independently put out your own message every single day. I've been saying that since 2016. Every single day. You control the narrative. You. And use X more. I know you got Truth Social. Nobody looks at it. Nobody reads it. I'm sorry. It's Twitter. It's X. That's where people are. Sorry. And you have to put out the video narrative every single day. Something to throw her off. Show inconsistencies. That she doesn't know what she's doing. That she's an empty suit. She's the windsock. They just fill her up with this. She'll say whatever she wants. She's the last person you sign on. Do you also believe that Joe Biden said that nobody died? His administration? Yes. Should we blame you then for the Americans who were killed? What about the billions of dollars of abandoned hardware? Do you own that? Was that your idea too? Stand up, Kamala. Somebody ask her. And tell them. Say she's not going to answer the question. She's going to move on to something else. Every single day. Trump can be doing a video, not standing in front of Charlie Kirk or whoever these people are. And I'm sorry, I hope this doesn't bother you, but I don't need these people. I've been around hacks my whole life. Do you remember? You probably don't. When Jerry Falwell, was it Robeson? There were others who, now there's so many of these people. People thought Pat Buchanan was a hack and he wasn't. They used to have, remember the McLaughlin group? Remember when they had Jack Germond and others? That was it. They were actual, columnists. Now we've got Charlie Kirk. Again, nothing wrong with Charlie Kirk. God bless him. Don't get near him. You're your own man. You are in charge. You always have the Trump Vance logo, the Trump Vance signage. Remind people you're running. You're not appearing before these people. And they're going to clap for you no matter what you say. No matter what you say. That's it. Now, they're also going to be working on Kamala. She's going to be laughing less. She's going to be speaking less. And they're really going to be doing this because for the longest time, that laugh it's gone far too far without somebody doing something about it. Okay? Okay. Now, dear friends, remember a couple of things here. On the 26th of October, let's all party like it's 1999. I'm going to be at the cutting room. It's going to be a barn burner 10 days before the election. Georgie says, by the way, Kamala's more geared for the weather on NBC today. She might be, but again, don't. It's not going to be what she says, it's how she's packaged. And remember, and those are great, George, and I agree with you, but don't think that a quip is going to work. And don't think that people know she's demented. They don't. You have to tell people specifically. You got what I'm saying? You got to tell people specifically. In addition, dear friends, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to go and follow Mrs. L right here. This is her link. This is the link to Lynn's Warriors. Just click on this baby right there and find out. Look at her interview with Sheriff Thad, one of the most authentic, real-life Texas lawmen you will ever see or meet. It's the most incredible thing in the world. Follow her there. Okay? Also, make sure you subscribe to Lionel Nation and Lionel Legal. I've got some more videos coming down the road. We're going to make this together. But understand something, and I want to pledge this to you. I am not going to say things just because it makes you happy. I'm not going to spend my time making jokes about Kamala Harris. She can be beaten, but that means a concerted, a specific, and a determined and a disciplined attack. Utilizing your own media. You're always dependent upon somebody else. You've got to have your own group. Get people like Margot Martin and all these other people to work. You need a studio. You need to be speaking anything. You'll drive these people crazy. Why don't you do this? Do your own Twitter live or YouTube live, whatever it is. Do it. I don't understand this. Explain 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Say something and make her respond to it. Ask her, why isn't anybody mentioning to Kamala Harris all those black men who spent their lives, who received incredible sentences for possession of marijuana, when she turns around and jokes about smoking dope herself? Ask her that question and then get back to me. Boom. Next video. She hasn't answered the question, has she? And of course, because she can't, because she's an empty suit. She's the windsock. She doesn't know what she's doing. She does like this. They say, ask her again. Has she answered that yet? No. If she doesn't answer that, how is she supposed to be your president? Next one. Have you ever met Vladimir Putin? You ever met Vladimir Putin? It's one of the most intense people you ever meet. How do you think she's going to do sitting across from Vladimir Putin? Now, what is she supposed to tell Vladimir Putin? What? Stop doing what? What are you going to tell him? What? Are you going to be the handmaiden for NATO? How are you going to deal with that? Ask her. She's never going to bring that up, but she'll talk about non-binary Israeli. What? She's got binary on the mind. Ask her. Cut. And let's see. Madam, the president I know what he said. Well, you haven't answered. Trump comes back again. She hasn't answered, has you? What's that, number 4? Just keep track. Ask her this. What about this, such and such? Ask her. We had the lowest unemployment rates for African Americans, for Latinos, and Asians. Asians, go figure. Ask her, was this a myth? The Labor Department, Labor Stats say that. What is she going to do to increase? What? You think what, Green New Deal is going to work out? How? Ask her the question. Trump comes back again. Well, we're down to 6 things she hasn't answered. If she's not answering this, why is she going to answer you? She's running for election and she's not even answering the question because she wants you to leave her alone because she's Kamala Harris. Don't you understand? She's the anointed one. She's Mamala. She's whatever the hell she is. Ask her every single day. And then they start picking up on it. Madam Secretary, Madam Vice President, yes. President Trump today, what? What did he say now? And you have this running tally. 38 questions not answered. 40 questions. 50, 100. She doesn't answer questions because she doesn't have anything. She never met with Joe Biden. She wasn't in the White House. She wasn't the last person in the room. Do you understand what's going on here? Do you understand? I've been there. I know it. And who's running the show right now? Call the White House. If all of a sudden you found out that Kim Jong-un fired some tactical nuclear weapon and it was coming right towards, let's say, South Korea, who's going to answer the phone? Where's Joe? In Rehoboth? Where's Jill? His caretaker. She's in Paris. She's the most upset. Maybe Hunter could help out. Who's in charge? Her? Her? Who has the football? Who has the nuclear codes? This is serious business. Where is he? Does he, can he, I mean, excuse me, am I the only one? And he can say, am I the only one asking questions? What's going on here? Every single day, every time. And it could be a minute every day. Here's another question Kamala's not going to answer. Here's another question Kamala's not going to answer. Ask her this, but she won't answer it. She's answered nothing I've asked her. And what I'm asking for you. Make her work for this. Maybe she can pick up, maybe Barack Obama can help. Barack, would you answer the question for her? Would somebody do it? Michelle, could you answer? Would somebody help? What's going on? Reading scores have plummeted. And they also, by the way, Randy Weingarten wants to remove the requirements for testing and the like. Why? Because, well, with testing, that shows you exactly how good or bad, theoretically, teachers are performing. They always say, we don't want to teach to the test. Randy Weingarten is an agent. Barry Taylor says, thanks for Lionel Nation and Lynn's Warriors. Barry, thank you, dear friend. This is easy stuff. This is really easy. They can have a list. Go down the list. And she also said, and then did you hear what she said about Israel? It's binary. There's a group of people who believe that Israel is committing genocide. They believe in the ICC, the ICJ, genocide, apartheid, and ethnic cleansing. They're saying binary? It's like either one or the other. What? Then you got the pro-Israel, the Bibi side, who were saying binary. There's no either or. Like, well, there's this or there's that. So she pissed off both sides. Hold her to it. I want you to go meet with Abu Mazen. Meet with him from the Palestinian Authority. Go ahead. Just go to Tel Aviv. Go anywhere. Go to the Philadelphia corridor. Go to Ramallah. Deal with them. Ask Iran, Hezbollah, the Houthis, and tell them it's binary. Binary. I mean, it's binary. Look up pink washing. Have you heard that one? That's your assignment. Anyway, dear friends, that's where this is such a joke. These people are such a, Mr. President, this is a gimme. Act now. Do what I say. Do what I say. Less golf, more video. Drive her crazy. Barry Taylor, George Lenz, YouTube Sooks, Bobby Bronco, Charlie Calais. Thank you so much. Raul Rodriguez. Thank you. Sparky, your good friend Sparky. And let me see who else there. B. Walcool, he's the Aussie. He's from Australia. He's a good egg. Good man. Good man. Mr. Brad Rung. Ryan, you know our buddy Ryan. You're all there. God bless yous, wonderful people. Anyway, make sure Lionel Nation, you are subscribed to it. Lionel Nation. Make sure and check right now. And Lionel Legal. Oh, the legal stuff is terrific. By the way, did you see all the people who were arrested? Not even arrested, but just dismissed regarding the destruction of property in Washington? If that were J6, forget it. How many J6ers are still under the jail in some kind of a DC gulag? We don't even know, do we? Nope. Nope. And by the way, Mr. President, do me a favor. I want you to keep Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene and all these other people away from you. When you speak, you and JD, and that's it. And get on the phone and talk to your Silicon Valley folks and find out what are they going to do to help. Because remember, Silicon Valley and Hollywood, they hate each other. Why? Because Hollywood, Silicon Valley is going to be just destroying the movie industry, so they say, and music to an extent with AI. You've got, I mean, this is so different. And before I leave you, you look at me and you look at me good. We're going to win this thing. It can be done. And I'll be damned if I'm going to sit back and just say, good job, Mr. President. No, I want you to destroy them. I want this to be the biggest landslide since Nixon and McGovern. I want you to just crush him. You got to teach him a lesson. I don't know what you mean. You don't have to vote anymore. You got to watch this sloppy talk. I don't get what this means. I don't understand what that means. And if I don't understand it, but I don't want to hear any depressed voices on your part. And do me a favor. If you've got one of your crazy lunatic lefty friends, I want you to think about speaking to them like they're crazy, like you're visiting them in the home, like they're at the day room of Creedmoor or Bellevue. And I want you to talk to them like this. I know. Okay. All right. Okay. You okay? Okay. Don't worry about it. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. I'm going to go now. I brought some new puzzles for you. I'll see you next week, okay? Don't worry. It'll be fine. Treat them like they're crazy because they are, okay? All right, dear friends. See you later. More videos dropping later. Don't forget Lynn's Warriors. Follow her now. And until then, my friends, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya.